The next episode of EPM Chronicles and Confessions. We have Vladislav Štefaňák here with us. Vladislav, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Tim, and also thanks for everyone for joining. So just a quick introduction. I have been in the space of EPM for more than 22 years. Started as a standard consultant, then moved to a team leader, then towards EPM lead or EPM practice lead, then division director for EPM, and then founded my own business and now a CEO of NDC Group. So that's roughly the journey. Actually, 22 years ago, my first project was financial consolidation in the space of EPM. So that was Cartesis at that time. And yeah, over that time, we have been working also at Cognos Controller, then switched towards SAP from 2008, basically. A lot of BPC projects, a lot of BWs, BWIPs, SAM BCS, and since 2016, we did a lot of SAP Analytics Cloud. So in total, we are talking about something like 350 projects in the EPM space. And yeah, I think the latest topics, we are actually, let's say, expanding the EPM with our own add-ons for example, financial consolidation, or topics such as automated migration from business objects to SAC as reporting platform.
Thank you so much. So this is a question I ask everybody in the community because we have a very complex job and it's very hard to explain it to outside our industry. Have you had any misconceptions of what you do, and how did you explain what you do to?
Of course, it's sometimes it's let's say the customers are having different vision of the EPM. Vision that it will immediately improve and drive their business, which is good if improved if applied correctly. And then we had also the customers asking us like, all right, so can you please install the EPM on Friday so that next week we can run the planning cycle? Saying, this is good, but maybe it should be configured for your business. So, these were the typical misconceptions that we were meeting. And the EPM is a powerful tool, but of course, it will not cover any or heal every gap in the company. So for me, EPM is a very powerful engine and very powerful topic from analysis, planning, simulation, forecasting up to financial consolidation. But I'm always saying to my customer, it's not magic. If there are no data, then, or if the data is crap, then we will also get a similar result out of it. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. So what's been your most significant challenge to date, and how did you address it?
If I'm looking at the challenges, of course, there are like a lot of topics coming from the point of the cloud computing and change towards the cloud. And we have been seeing this is not a challenge for us, this is a challenge for the entire market. And recently, of course, put together with the generative AI. And let's say the application of the generative AI specifically for a given customer context, because everybody now is right now crazy about ChatGPT going into a lot of topics and a lot of let's say AI specific tasks, which are very good if applied correctly and can really speed up the development. But what the customers are typically right now expecting, and this is the current challenge for me, is they are expecting the AI to have, let's say, answers specific to their business,
right?
Which is something completely different, such as the AI being just trained on the general available information. Yeah? So for me, if I'm looking at the, let's say, specific challenges, the first thing is going to cloud, where we as the software providers or as the consultants are already there for a couple of years. Yeah, since 2016 was our first cloud project. But a lot of customers still have almost their entire architecture actually brought on-premise, or are just beginning the journey towards there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, of course, the possibilities of our, let's say, new technologies that are coming, and also the threats. Yeah.
Sure, definitely. So can you tell us about a standout success story you've had?
Okay, I would maybe pick two of them.
Okay, that's fine.
I would start with the first one, which we did 2 years ago with a big chemistry provider called Clariant. That company had on the top management level an agreement about the reduction of the overall carbon footprint.
Right.
And actually, we utilized the EPM to bridge the procurement department, finance department,
right,
sustainability department, to actually create an overall single truth about each product from the point of cost, margin, and also the overall carbon footprint. And actually made it happen to that the company was able to significantly plan and decrease the overall carbon footprint, and to meet and to start gradually meeting the targets that were set out by the overall management. So that one was actually a Global Innovation Award, one of 5 selected projects in 2022 by SAP globally.
Okay.
And the second one is actually, let's say, something that it's very close to my heart, because as I said, I started with the consolidation. So actually, we have been working for a couple of years now already on a cloud-based solution, a replacement of BPC and FC cartridges. So I personally see that as a great success, that the solution is now fully available and also right now ready on the SAP store, certified by SAP. So that's a great one.
That's good, yeah. So what part of EPM or your career you find most rewarding?
For me, it's making the impact. It's actually doing something that matters. And it can be on the topics such as I mentioned with Clariant, but it can be on the topics such as the important, let's say, changes that happen in our world, such as, for example, COVID crisis or blockage of Suez. Yeah, that was that meant that the entire supply chain for our customers was immediately stopped. Mm-hmm. And I personally see it as a let's say great reward to be able to react and to also foresee some of these topics. So, for example, after the blockage of Suez, on that particular day, within 5 hours from when it hit the news, we had a new version of forecast at 16 of our clients. Wow. So that's for me the that's something that I find personally rewarding, that you can make the impact, that you can see, all right, so this is what happened, this is how we prepared for it, this is what we actually changed.
So have you had any humorous moments in your career that you can share with us?
Well, for me, the funny thing about EPM, and especially if you say EPM planning and consolidation, then even these are like 2 groups of people. And for planning and even for console, it's even smaller group. And you are keep running into the very same people, and it's regardless of where they are at. If they are, at Tagetik, at Board, at Anaplan, at SAP, and it's still the same people. So for me, the funny thing is that it's almost like a school reunion where we are coming into an event, and it's typical that I'm it also teaches you respect to your competitors, because your competitor can be in 1 month your colleague or SAP representative working with us. Yeah. So this is exactly what happened. We had topics where we directly competed with somebody, and then in 2 months we were either colleagues or we were working together. Yeah. On certain deals. And for me, it's really like this is actually quite a closed group. I don't know if you feel that similar in the other markets. I can speak maybe about the European, let's say, markets like DACH region, like UK, like CEE, or the entire MEME. But this is for us the experience that usually is the same people.
Yeah, definitely. No, completely got that. So what inspired you to start your own consultancy? But in a way, you're starting your own vendor company in a way now at the moment.
Correct. Very simple, to be the best, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Sure.
And also going back to make actually a real impact, and to prove that we can do the very same thing, the very best quality of what we did for our customers, also on the global scale. That's for the vendors. And with us, it's actually something that I have in the NDC Group, what we call an NDC standard. And it actually started where we got a very nice letter from a customer saying, your project was on time, with no exceptions, on budget and on quality. We are super happy. And one of the colleagues took that and actually sent it out through whole company and said, right, this is a nice NDC standard. Oh, so this sticked. And this is then for me the also the driving force right now. Yeah.
Clearly. So like you said, you keep abreast of the competition, the people out there, and also the trends, what's going on. Now, how do you do that? What do you do in terms of keeping yourself informed?
Well, I think it's of course about self-study and let's say continuous work. But if you are looking also, for me, it's also about directly listening towards the customer, getting their views, getting their feelings. And for me, the EPM is all about integration, about connecting the different worlds, the different data domains. And we are seeing a lot of the new things popping up. So EPM before 20 years was mainly finance focused. Now we have customers who are looking at the same numbers with the different optics, with the optics of sustainability, with the optics of internal employees well-being. This was something that was just completely not there 20 years ago, and we see like this volume of data growing, and also within the customers we see a lot of topics that needs to be still integrated and put together, so that we have one common truth with it, which is like a mantra going back for 20 years, and it's still like a moving target.
Sure. So a lot of youngsters are coming into our industries. People are learning, and fresh people in our industry. What's the advice you'd give to them in terms of everything that kind of?
That's for me there are two major topics. First thing is, of course, there is the technology piece that you need to know, and there is some basic topics such as I need to know my databases, I need to know my multidimensional modeling, then reporting and so on. But the difference that actually separates a standard consultant from a truly good guy is, for me, understanding what's behind, and that's the business. So for me, the newcomers to the field who are coming from, let's say, with at least a bit of a business background, or even like IT faculty on a business university, might have a different view in the EPM than the traditional, like a IT graduate from a technical, let's say, technical standard. If we are looking at the knowledge of the business, it is really crucially important for us because I had to do this quite often on the interviews. Basically, getting a guy who was tremendous good at databases, tremendous fine on the reports and so on. But then we said, in accounting, there is a debit and credit, and say what? No, I don't want to be anywhere near accounting. This is EPM, this is virtually in accounting, but in a different view. So for me, this is the tricky part. So if the newcomers are aware of what is happening there in the business, if they are aware of the typical business domains, like what can I expect in my supply chain, what can I expect in my customer-facing business, what are the normal standard business processes by a given segment, like how do banks operate, how do insurances operate. What do we actually do is we try to actually formulate this kind of agenda and work together with universities to actually get this into the curriculum. And basically within the standard courses to actually get them at least a glimpse of what we observed and what could be also helpful for them. So this is also how to put in a bit of goodwill. And also some, how to share some knowledge as well.
Cool, thank you. So where do you foresee EPM to be in the next 5 years? What things do you think will happen?
Well, for me, the generative AI is definitely something that will typically impact on the topics of self-service visualization generation. That's definitely there, and it's like a low-hanging fruit. What will come then is, for me, the clash between the old-fashioned legacy big ERPs and big systems that are out there that still will take, something like 5 to 10 years to change, and there will be many of them. And the new topics that you can cover with the AI. So for me, basically, if I'm looking at also the maintenance windows for the systems, it's about now that for the next 10 to 15 years, there is still a window to actually operate locally run systems, and then gradually go into the cloud. For me, these are the topics that will shape the next year and next years. Plus, I'm a bit skeptical on getting the generative AI, or in a sense, an AI to be running internally, basically having access towards your direct internal systems. So I can imagine that if you are owning the AI, like Google or like any others. But that would be for me like the total game changer. I don't know if that would be something happening in next 5 to 10 years. I don't really think so. I think there will be still a lot of conservatism to actually, provide, especially about providing the data. So we could see also this kind of open B2B platforms in there. I can expect it.
Thank you so much, Vladislav. Really enjoyed the chat with you today, and definitely we'll do different podcasts in the future. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.